Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bold and Beautiful today. When Finn sees Grace agitated, Luna pulls a gun on Steffi after Sheila's warning arrives too late. When Sheila learned about Luna's target practice, she became alarmed, and Luna sent Steffi an origami death threat. Sheila is concerned about Luna's use of a rifle at Il Giardino. She remembers Luna assuring her that if they got rid of Steffi, their lives would be so much better. She leaves a message for Finn over the phone. They must discuss Luna, even if she is certain Steffi has told him not to reply. Taylor examines the menacing origami fortune teller at the Cliff home. Steffi says that this is completely out of place. She is unable to comprehend Miss Sunshine's thoughts. She is desperate to find out the truth and doesn't want Mississippi Sunshine close to Hayes if she is accountable for this. After assuring her anxious mother that nothing will happen, Steffi leaves. Sheila arrives. She is not welcomed by Taylor, who questions how she managed to get past security. Sheila clarifies that Finn has to know about Luna because he hasn't been answering her texts. Taylor accuses Luna of being responsible for everything, tells her that she grabbed Will's gun, and returns to frightening Steffi. She seems ready to go out with a bang, despite Sheila's persistent encouragement to leave town. She is concerned about Steffi's safety. Miss Dillon asks Luna what she intends to do to Steffi at the Beach House Art School. She called her over already. Luna backs her into a corner while brandishing a revolver and wearing leather. She implores Luna to keep Steffi and herself safe. Luna ties her up, stuffs her in a closet, and gags her. Steffi enters through the open door and surveys the area as she gets there. It appears to be deserted. As Luna enters and closes the door, she lets out a gasp. She is reminded by Luna that she has the most amazing father in the world, but Steffi is preventing him from seeing her. Steffi assumes that Luna is Miss Sunched when she remarks on Hayes' talent. Luna pulls out her revolver, begins to push her into a corner, and promises to let her see her father. Grace informs Finn at his office that they must get Liam to seek therapy immediately. He warns her that Liam's illness cannot be cured and that any therapy could negatively affect his quality of life going forward. He must not allow Liam to postpone this any longer, Grace exhorts him. His most recent scan revealed that his tumor had gotten bigger. If he doesn't accomplish anything, they can't offer him extra time. She hesitantly tells someone she can't chat right now while answering her phone. She reminds Finn that Liam has been unable to decide on the treatment he needs, despite her telling him about it. He says he will speak with Liam. She wants to be left alone since she keeps receiving texts. Maybe she might need a day off, Finn says. He offers to listen to her issues since he can tell she's under stress and understands she's been through a lot. When Liam visits the design office, he gives Hope the plush unicorn that Beth abandoned. "How are you feeling?" she asks. The best medicine, he believes, is spending time with the child. He claims that because she is a bright child, she will quickly realize that something is off. Hope is still unwilling to deal with this. Why can't he overcome the odds like Eric did? Though he is more worried about his ex-partners and his children, Liam is also hoping for a miracle. She reminds him that his father and brother need to understand what he's going through. She responds that she doesn't believe he is being selfish when he asks. All he's doing is attempting to shield those he loves from truth. He receives a reminder to take his medication. Hope hopes he's taking them regularly as he downs one. He claims to desire as much time as possible. He explains to her how Will tried to trap Luna. He is so committed to ensuring the safety of everyone he knows and loves because of this. He is reassured by Hope that none of them will be harmed by Luna. The suffocating dread that had coiled in Sheila Carter's gut since learning of Luna Nozawa's disturbing target practice tightened its grip as she paced the worn linoleum floor of Il Giardino. The cheerful clatter of dishes and low murmur of lunchtime conversations felt grotesquely out of sync with the horror unfolding in her mind. Luna's chilling words echoed relentlessly, "Just imagine, Sheila, how much better our lives would be if Steffi wasn't around to keep us apart from Finn and Hayes." It hadn't been idle venting, it had been a declaration, a blueprint for annihilation disguised as a desperate fantasy. The origami death threat sent to Steffi wasn't just inappropriate, it was a harbinger. Sheila fumbled with her phone, her fingers trembling as she dialed Finn's number again. Straight to voicemail. Steffi's orders, she thought bitterly, the familiar sting of rejection momentarily overshadowed by sheer terror. Finn, it's me, she rasped into the phone, her voice low and urgent, cutting through the ambient noise. I know you don't want to hear from me, but you have to listen. It's about Luna. She's got a gun. She's talking crazy. She sent Steffi that thing, that paper threat. Finn, please, call me back. Steffi could be in real danger. The disconnect tone felt like a death knell. Sheila stared at the phone, the weight of helplessness crushing her. She'd urged Luna to leave town, to escape the toxic pull of the Forresters and Logans, but the young woman, unraveling under perceived rejection and obsession, seemed terrifyingly determined to go out in a blaze of infamy. Meanwhile, high atop the cliffs, the atmosphere in Steffi Forrester's luxurious home was thick with a different kind of tension. Taylor Hayes held the meticulously folded origami fortune teller, its once innocent purpose perverted into a vessel of menace. This is beyond inappropriate, Steffi, Taylor murmured, her brow furrowed with maternal concern as she examined the crude, threatening symbols. It's unhinged. Steffi, radiating a fierce, protective energy mixed with outrage, paced the living room. Miss Sunshine? Is that who we're dealing with? If she's responsible for this. Her voice hardened, her thoughts immediately flying to her young son, Hayes. She doesn't get anywhere near my son. Or anyone else in this family. I will get to the bottom of this. Dismissing her mother's worried pleas to be cautious, Steffi grabbed her keys, her determination overriding any nascent fear. Nothing's going to happen, Mom. I'm just going to confront her. End this nonsense. She swept out, leaving Taylor grappling with a mother's worst premonitions. Taylor's anxiety hadn't subsided when the unexpected, unwelcome figure of Sheila Carter appeared at the Cliff House door. How did you get past security? Taylor demanded, her voice icy, every instinct screaming distrust. Sheila, breathless and frantic, ignored the hostility. Finn. He won't answer my texts, my calls. He needs to know about Luna. Now. Taylor's eyes narrowed. Luna? That unstable young woman you seemed so invested in? The one who already pulled a gun on Will Spencer? The one who's clearly back to terrorizing Steffi? Sheila flinched but pressed on, her desperation palpable. I've been telling her to leave town. But she won't listen. Sheila's voice dropped to a terrified whisper. Taylor, I think she's planning something final. She's talking about going out with a bang. Steffi could be in real danger right now. The raw fear in Sheila's eyes, so alien yet undeniably genuine, sent a fresh wave of dread through Taylor. That danger was crystallizing with chilling speed at the Beach House Art School. Miss Dillon, Luna's unsuspecting employer, had innocently called Steffi over at Luna's request, unaware of the trap being sprung. Now, faced with a Luna transformed, clad in stark, intimidating leather, eyes wide and burning with a manic intensity, a gun held with unnerving steadiness in her hand, Miss Dillon backed into a corner, pure terror rendering her voice a whimper. Luna, please, whatever you're planning, don't hurt Steffi. Don't hurt anyone. Her pleas were cut short as Luna, moving with a frightening efficiency, gagged her, bound her wrists, and shoved her into a supply closet, sealing her terrified silence behind the door. The cheerful, creative space was now a stage set for violence. Steffi arrived moments later, frowning at the open door and the unnerving quiet. Hello? Miss Dillon? Luna? Her confident stride faltered slightly as she moved further inside, the absence of life feeling suddenly ominous. A gasp escaped her lips as Luna materialized from the shadows near the entrance, slamming the door shut with a decisive click that echoed like a gunshot in the stillness. Steffi spun around, her posture instantly defensive, her eyes locking onto Luna's feverish gaze. Luna? What is this? Luna's voice, when it came, was a low, trembling monotone, stripped of its usual gentle cadence. You, she stated, the single word loaded with venom. You're the reason. The woman with the most wonderful father in the world, and you keep him away from me. You keep my son away from me. As Luna spoke, her hand dipped into her jacket, emerging with the cold, deadly gleam of the pistol. Steffi's blood ran cold, but she held her ground, her mind racing. Hayes is talented, isn't he? Luna continued, almost conversationally, yet the gun never wavered. The incongruity clicked for Steffi. You're Miss Sunshine? The confirmation seemed to fuel Luna's mania. And you, Luna hissed, advancing, forcing Steffi to retreat step by step towards a corner, are going to let me see my father. You're going to let me hold my son. Or you won't be around to stop me. The barrel of the gun pointed unflinchingly at Steffi's heart, the air crackling with the promise of irreversible violence. Miles away, in the sterile calm of his office at the hospital, Dr. John Finnegan was oblivious to the life-or-death drama unfolding on the cliffs. His focus was on Grace Buckingham, whose usual composure was visibly fraying. Finn, we have to convince Liam to start treatment immediately, Grace implored, her knuckles white where she gripped the edge of his desk. Every day he delays. Finn sighed, the weight of medical reality pressing down. Grace, you know his condition. The tumor is inoperable. The treatment, it's brutal. It could significantly diminish whatever quality of life he has left in the time he has. Grace shook her head vehemently. But his latest scan shows growth, Finn. Significant growth. We can't just give him more time if he refuses to fight for it. He needs to understand the window is closing. Her phone buzzed insistently in her pocket. She pulled it out, glanced at the screen, and her face paled further. I can't talk now, she stammered into the phone before quickly ending the call, her hand trembling as she shoved it back into her pocket. I told Liam about the treatment plan weeks ago, she continued, her voice strained, trying to refocus. He keeps putting off a decision. He's in denial. Finn watched her closely, noting the unusual agitation, the jumpiness. I'll talk to him again, Grace, he promised gently. But look at you. You seem incredibly stressed. Is it just Liam, or is something else going on? He gestured towards her pocket where the phone buzzed again, a persistent, unnerving hum. You've been through a lot lately. If there are other problems, I'm here to listen. Grace forced a brittle smile, avoiding his perceptive gaze. It's nothing. Just everything. Liam, work. Her voice trailed off as the phone buzzed a third time, a tangible manifestation of the invisible pressure crushing her, a stark counterpoint to the deadly standoff where Steffi's life hung in the balance, her fate resting on the fractured psyche of a woman with a gun and a score to settle, while Sheila's frantic warning echoed unheard, arriving far, far too late. The threads of crisis, Luna's violent unraveling, Liam's desperate battle against time, Grace's mysterious distress, were tightening simultaneously, hurtling multiple lives towards an uncertain, potentially devastating climax. When Sheila learns of Luna's target practice, she becomes alarmed and sends Steffi an origami death threat. Luna told Hayes they were going to blow his mother away after bidding Sheila farewell. Luna promises Hayes that they will create something his mother would never forget at the beach home daycare, grinning. She proposes that they create a paper fortune teller that contains coded messages. She smirks to herself and remarks, "Your mom is going to be surprised." Miss Dillon instructs the children to prepare as she announces that it is time for pickup. Luna tells Hayes that his mom would love the fate teller when he thanks her. Some kids don't even get relationships with their kids, she says, wiping away a tear. Steph asks her mother if she has a wedding date in mind while they are at the Cliff House. According to Taylor, they're holding off until things settle down. In the midst of the chaos, Steffi believes the family needs a wedding. A diversion would be beneficial. She is relieved that the children are occupied and are not dealing with the psychopath stuff. They may just be children acting like children. After being dropped off, Hayes informs the women that Miss Sunshine has returned to teach origami. He takes the fate teller out. Steffi grinned. She and Phoebe used to make those. Hayes clarifies that he wrote the numbers and folded them, but Miss Sunshine claimed that if he knew what they were, fortunes couldn't come true. They'll see what Miss Sunshine believes is coming, Steffi replies. They take a picture of the sun after trying one. A moon is the object of their next attempt. Steffi wished for a romantic partner. A broken heart comes next. Taylor and Steffi remind themselves that Miss Sunshine has no idea what the future will bring. Another one they attempt shows a woman with her eyes X'd out. Steffi gulps, tells Hayes that was awesome, and thanks him. He leaves to use his iPad for play. Steffi is uncomfortable, as is her mother. She determines that she must speak with Miss Sunshine. Steffi says she was just going to phone Miss Dillon regarding an improper message from Miss Sunshine when she gets a call. Miss Dillon invites her to stop by instead of arguing over the phone. Hayes will be looked after by Taylor. This is absolutely inappropriate, Steffi tells her mother. Luna assures Miss Sunshine she did a fantastic job while brandishing a gun at her back at the beach house. At the Giardino, Luna made him an origami, which Remy shows Sheila. He fears that she has vanished. Luna has a lot on his mind, according to Sheila. That's the reason for his anxiety. Remy reveals that he has heard Luna's strange past. Sheila maintains that they all adore one another and dislikes such portrayal. Steffi is mostly responsible for Remy's lack of affection. Steffi is complex and obstinate, according to Sheila. Although it's difficult, she would like to have a typical connection with her. Remy doesn't think it will ever happen. Sheila tells him about Luna kidnapping Steffi and keeping her in a cage, and they discuss how Luna will go to jail for killing 2 men. Sheila acknowledges that Luna is leaving Los Angeles and laments Steffi's wealth. He is certain that she is grieving at the loss of her granddaughter. Sheila is, but Luna will probably benefit from the change of surroundings. Remy concurs. Sheila insists on knowing if there is a problem. He relates how he met Luna at the shooting range, where she targeted him with a photo of Steffi. Sheila trembles. Luna isn't much of a shot, and he never thought of her as the type of gun. He needed to assist her. Sheila needs to accept that Luna is carrying a gun, and she remembers that she was leaving with a boom. The seemingly mundane world of the Forrester daycare, usually filled with the innocent chatter of children and the rustle of craft paper, curdled into something deeply sinister as Luna, her eyes harboring a tempest beneath a fragile veneer of calm, guided Hayes's small hands in folding an origami fortune teller. Her words, spoken with a chillingly sweet lilt, carried a hidden blade. "We are going to blow your mother away, Hayes. Make something she'll never forget." To the untrained ear, it might have sounded like childish hyperbole about a surprise gift, but the icy glint in Luna's gaze as she smirked to herself betrayed a far darker intent. She meticulously orchestrated the creation, ensuring Hayes wrote the numbers while she alone inscribed the hidden fortunes within the brightly colored paper, whispering conspiratorially that the magic wouldn't work if he knew the secrets. As Miss Dillon announced pickup time, Hayes beamed, thanking Miss Sunshine, completely oblivious to the poison nestled within his innocent creation. Luna watched him go, a single, incongruous tear tracing her cheek, a jarring display of fractured emotion, perhaps mourning the fractured relationships she had destroyed, a twisted reflection of the very stability she was now targeting in Steffi's life. Meanwhile, miles away at the sun-drenched cliff house, a semblance of normalcy prevailed. Steffi, seeking refuge from the perpetual chaos swirling around Sheila Carter, her personal hurricane of terror, chatted with her mother Taylor about wedding plans, clinging to the hope of a joyful distraction. "A wedding is exactly what this family needs," Steffi insisted, her voice tight with the strain of constant vigilance. "Something good, something pure, in the middle of all this psychopath stuff." She took a shaky breath, expressing profound relief that her children, particularly Hayes, remained shielded from the ugliness, able to simply be kids being kids, a fragile sanctuary she guarded fiercely. That sanctuary shattered the moment Hayes bounded in, proudly presenting his origami creation from Miss Sunshine. Steffi's initial reaction was warm nostalgia, remembering making similar paper toys with her late sister, Phoebe. Hayes eagerly explained the rules, emphasizing Luna's decree about the secrecy of the fortunes. Oblivious, Steffi played along, Taylor watching with maternal fondness. The first flap revealed a cheerful sun, drawing smiles. The second, a crescent moon, still harmless. Steffi joked about hoping for a boyfriend prediction, a feeble attempt to maintain the light-hearted mood. Then, the third flap unfolded. A crude, jaggedly drawn broken heart stared back at them. A cold silence descended. Steffi and Taylor exchanged a look, a silent communication of shared unease, quickly plastering on reassuring smiles for Hayes, dismissing it as meaningless, as Miss Sunshine simply not knowing the future. But the fourth flap was the gut punch. Not a symbol, but a crudely rendered stick figure of a woman, her eyes violently crossed out with thick, dark X's. The air whooshed out of the room. Steffi's blood ran cold. This wasn't a child's innocent drawing, it was a stark, unmistakable threat, a visual assassination notice smuggled into her home by her own unsuspecting son. Gulping down pure terror, Steffi forced a brittle cool, for Hayes's sake, hastily sending him off to his tablet. The moment he was out of earshot, the facade crumbled. "Mom, this is beyond inappropriate," Steffi hissed, her voice trembling with rage and fear. "It's a threat. A death threat." Taylor's face mirrored her daughter's horror, the image of the crossed-out eyes burning in their minds. Steffi grabbed her phone, her fingers shaking as she dialed the daycare, only for it to ring simultaneously. Miss Dillon was calling her. Steffi answered, her voice clipped and furious. "Miss Dillon, I was just about to call you. We need to talk about an extremely disturbing and inappropriate message delivered to my son by Miss Sunshine. Miss Dillon's voice, strained and unusually formal, cut her off. "Ms. Forrester, I don't want to discuss this over the phone. Could you please come to the beach house? Immediately?" The urgency in her tone confirmed Steffi's worst fears. Something was terribly wrong. Taylor, her own face pale, immediately offered to stay with Hayes, her protective instincts flaring. As Steffi grabbed her keys, her mind raced. Luna wasn't just unstable, she was actively weaponizing innocence, using Hayes as a delivery system for terror.